Hey kids, this is JJ again. This video isn't going to be for everybody. This is something that I need to do, and I have had a couple friends ask me about making these, so it's kind of an acquired taste for this. My favorite goggles that I use are my boscams, my GS922s. Love them, except for one thing. They only run off of 5-volt DC, period. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. You cannot plug a normal LiPo into them like you can on most normal goggles. Really freaking annoying. And they come with, it's a USB mini connector for power, which is even more annoying. And they give you this big friggin' Beck type of thing that you plug a 2 or 3S LiPo into, and then you got to strap it to your head, and you're a human bomb, and it's just, yeah. So I made a battery when I first got these, and it's basically this. It's kind of scary looking. All it is a 2S LiPo. Got a little bit of a battery meter light thingy on there, but basically it's a 2S LiPo with a 5-volt Beck wired into it, with a micro USB connector and a switch. It's very hokey. And some 3D lock tape. And that lock tape just goes on to the goggle strap that I put on. And then it plugs in. No big deal. This battery's kind of seen better days. I don't know if you can see it in here, but you flip this on. A little light comes on the spec. And that's how you get power. Because obviously, you have to be able to turn off the back or your battery will completely drain all the time. It will charge off of a normal balance lead. There is no large lead, so you can't do a power charge. You have to do a slow trickle balance, which is fine, like you do with a lot of other batteries. And so, little lights on, it's on. Little light off. This one, they're all hokey. I mean, let's face it. I have some, I ordered some new batteries, wanted to build some of these spares, and I have new switches coming that are small and make the whole package a little bit better, but unfortunately the switches have not come in yet, so I'm using another big old honking switch out of an old transmitter. Ordered these 7.4 volt 20C 1000 milliamp batteries, 2S for these goggles. These are pretty small. I got these off Amazon, I believe. They're pretty cheap. Because I'm just cutting them up and using them for goggles. So, as you can see, this is actually fully charged. So, I don't know if you really want to solder fully charged batteries, but I do because I'm me. So we got our battery, micro SD. Woo! Mini USB cable that I cut, and I'll check length later. Switch. And I found these really cool, super tiny little backs. Very, very tiny little backs. Little bit, oh, of course. I don't use pins. Okay. This is a very tiny little dude. Can't even get it out of the bag. There we go. Super tiny. 5-volt back, and I believe it's a 2 to 3S input. See if it'll focus. Very teeny. And you can see you've got voltage out, ground, voltage in, and SHDN. Okay, so what we're going to do, ground's ground, not worried about that. So I'm assuming that's going to be our ground out. I guess we'll test it with meters to find out. We know what our voltage in is, and we know what our ground is. So we'll go ahead and wire those in. Pretty straightforward on how to do that. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take our hot wire off of our JST. We're going to cut this, and we're going to bring it straight into the back. We're going to take our negative lead, and we're going to cut it in half. We're going to bring half of it to the switch, and the other half of it to the other side of the back. Then the back output is going to get wired to here. We're going to tape the shit out of it, make it look hillbilly, but it will work. So hang on. I'm going to go plug in my hot glue gun because I forgot to do that. Soldering gun's ready to go, iron, and then get right back. So here we go. First thing I'm going to do, and my head's probably going to get in the way a lot on this, and that's okay because I'm not used to doing this. I'm going to tin these 4 tiny little pots here. Take 2 seconds. Okay. That's good. So that is done. Take our hot wire. This is how I pretty much do everything. Yes, it's charged. Lipos aren't out to kill you. If you see a cool spark, that's just added movie points. Okay. And then I always trim these to go really small. Voltage in. That's shitty. Okay. Then we're going to take our ground. I'm going to cut it in half. Probably should have pre-tinned it first to make life easier, but that's okay. Caught myself. Cut the lead off of this. This is a super easy process to do. Takes a little bit of thought. Whenever you're dealing with these little tiny terminals, always clean your iron, or else you'll be cross-phasing, and nobody likes cross-phasing. Okay. We're going to take our switch, do the same thing. This is a 3-position switch, way overkill for what we need, but it was out of a crap transmitter, and that's all I had till Monday. So there's that. And then we're going to put the other side. Oops, shit. Helping hands, not so helping. We're going to take the other side of this. Okay. This is what we have. Right now that switch is on. That will be off, and that will be off in this case. That's fine. I don't care. And then this side is going to go to our back. Easy enough. You do have to be a little bit careful, because if you cross those while you're soldering, it'll spark and scare the shit out of you. But that's it. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to double check our voltage with this on. That should be on. I'm going to double check it with the meter just to make sure this little guy's working before I get too excited. So, trusty fluke. And so voltage out should be the hot side, I'm assuming. All right, that's being painful. And that is not. So let's go to this ground. And it is 5 volts on the nose. Cool. So we have to use the same ground on the voltage out, which I don't like because those are really, really tiny ass terminals. Makes everybody difficult to solder. Let's make sure, let's see, switch off. Any other 2 positions. So that's painful. No big deal. What I'm going to actually do is, if you see here, sorry, see the ground? I'm probably going to solder it through the back side on that ground there, just so I don't have 2 wires coming off this itty bitty ass board. So that should be pretty straightforward to do. So now what we need is our cable. This is real easy to do too. This is actually going faster than I thought. So here's our cable. I'm going to judge my cable length a little bit here. I'm going back to, actually this will probably just work fine. We got to leave a little bit of room in there for my big ass head to stretch. Okay, so I'm just going to use that. This is how I strip wires. Been stripping wires like my entire life for work and building studios and whatnot. So it's probably better ways to do it. This is shielded cable. Now with these little USB cables, if you're going to do something like this in bulk, you can buy just the power cable and it's cheaper to do. This is actually a data cable and it's being a pain in the ass to get the shield off. There we go. Now, these two wires do not have to be huge. For one thing, it's 5 volts, and that is the current or the voltage that your computer puts out on the USB anyway. What I'm going to do, I twist these together, then I cut them. Makes life a little cleaner. We don't need shielding. And I only need the black and the red. So I'm going to get rid of these two dudes too. Blink, gone. Cool. Then I'm going to take these, again with the nails, I know. Cool. Yoink. And we're going to tin these up. Trim them just a teeny bit. Perfect. Okay. Then I'm going to solder these voltage to the V out, and then the ground, I can just do it to both of these, this side here. We'll just do them both on that side. And that'll make life nice and neat. I'm not really sure what the SHDN is. Switch. I guess you could switch them. So the voltage out's at the bottom and the ground. This is too tiny to get on screen. I'm not even going to bother. So my big head probably going to be in the way. Let's spray that. Okay. Now, unfortunately, this side released a little bit, but not too bad. I don't know if you can see it. When I mean release, push it down a little bit. Since I heated up that side of the terminal, that side came out. So it's kind of I'm going to try just burning the shit out of myself and squeezing these. And it worked. Hot damn. All right. Now we've got a nice, very difficult to pick up on camera. Sorry about that. Okay. So now we should have good old-fashioned 5 volts coming out of here. There we go. I had a little bit of a glitch there, but she does work. So when this switch is in that position, which will be here, you have voltage. When it's here, we do not. Pretty simple. One thing I do with these little tiny builds, let me see what I did with it. Here it is. Sorry about that. Conformal coating keeps everything from shorting out. So this is how I waterproof all my quads, by the way. Do all my circuit boards with these. That's a hell of a lot right there, but oh well, that's okay. And this will keep anything from shorting out. Okay. So I did test this with a meter. It does work. Does have its output. So now it's just pretty much a matter of arranging it. You know, how do you want it on here? One thing I am going to do, if I'm going to have it like that, we need to mark which way we've got voltage on the battery, because it is going to get confusing once we tape this guy up. So I'm going to get out Mr. Hot Glue Gun. Yoink. And I'm going to tape. Let's see. I'm going to glue this guy. Hot glue guns do not make batteries explode. Just keep thinking that while you're doing it. This is just to hold everything on. We're going to do it like this. Bada bing. Okay. That way is on, so I'll just remember that for now, but I probably will put a mark on there. And then this guy here, how do I want to do him? Probably should give myself a little bit more wire there. That's okay. You don't want this to pull out, obviously. I am going to be taping this up. So, all right. Do it the old-fashioned way and hot finger yourself. And there we go. We're back. And it is done. So we've got the switch, 5-volt back, USB out, which is solely power, nothing fancy. Balanced charge port. And that's it. 20C is plenty to just power things off of. So this is a neat little setup. Pretty easy to do. I'm going to tape it up and come back to the final product here in a second. Be right back. We're back. Here it is, finished product. Looks a little hobo, obviously, because it's all taped up, but it is secured, believe it or not. I have my tape on the back, that Sherlock tape. I call it Sherlock. And it's everything is secured in here. The tape is just to protect the wires in my backpack or something like that. This is a spare battery. That's on, that's off. Pretty straightforward. So basically, again, 2S LiPo wired to a switch going through the back, which is here. Then going through this guy. Obviously, this is to power the boscam goggles. We're still at 2S 8.3. So you can do this with any type of battery. You know, match up any back that you want, any type of LiPo that you want, stick a switch on it, and it's, you know, it's not hard to do. You could use this. This could be a cell phone charger, technically, if you wanted to do it like that. Pretty simple to do. I don't know if anybody out there is going to do this, but if you want to know, it's just a quick little trick to make a little power supply. So anyway, take care. Keep the shiny side up. Thanks for watching. Take care.